Destiny rides on the road to Berlin, the UEFA Champions League, on Fox Soccer Plus.
Back here at UIC Pavilion, just about set for tip-off. Today's starting lineups. First up for Cleveland State, three-guard look with Andre Yates, Trey Lewis, and Charlie Lee, the guards. Marlon Mason and Anton Grady will start up front. Trey Lewis, the team's leading scorer, averaging 18 a night. Here's UIC's starting lineups. They'll go with Miller, Snyder, and Brown on the outside. Fells, also a guy that could play guard. It's listed as a forward here, and Jake Wiegand, really their only true pivot, as we are set for tip-off. Here today, Mike Brya, the official in the center circle. Up it goes, and Cleveland State wins it as they work in their traveling greens, and Trey Lewis on quick penetration draws the foul. Will go to the line just 5 seconds in.
And this is what we saw Trey do the other night. Everybody has him scouted as a three-point shooter, but man, can he attack and finish at the rim.
Along with Pat Vianchik, I'm Al Pulowski. Welcome in once again to our broadcast here today on Sports Time Ohio and also Comcast Chicago. Trey Lewis on the year, shooting 79% from the stripe, nails the first one. That foul on UIC was on Amon Fells. That's his first, and the first foul today against either side.
People need to remember, this guy was a Big Ten recruit right out of high school.
Rebound on the floor collected by Fells with some trouble, though. Got it away to Brown. And now UIC will come ahead. This is DeJuan Miller. Will run the point against Cleveland State's man-to-man. Here's Wiegand. He can go outside as well as in. Snyder. Marlon Mason taps the rebound out of bounds. It'll be UIC basketball. Gary Waters, the coach for Cleveland State in his 9th year with the Vikings, his 19th overall as a Division I head coach. You see his numbers here at Cleveland State.
Has been a winner at Kent State, at Rutgers, and now at Cleveland State has put together a tremendous program.
Miller against Lee. See that point guard matchup early as Mark Brown. He's had some good games in his past against Cleveland State. Trying to get through the double team. There's a steal. Vikings on a run out. Now Cleveland State will slow it down and reset against the Flame man-to-man. Trey Lewis lost the handle, got it back though. Mason on penetration. And it's an offensive foul called on Marlon. So the basket won't count. We'll look at it here again.
I'm going to want to see if he was inside this arc when this shot was taken. That should not be an offensive charge. His feet were on that arc line. That should not have been an offensive call.
Jake Wiegand taking the charge. First foul against Cleveland State as they work some full court pressure here. Vikings were able to create some offense off defense on Friday night, Pat, against Milwaukee. They'll try to do that again.
Well, and already have one steal in that first possession.
Fells took an extra step. Went ahead and dunked it, but it won't count. So still 1-0 Vikings here on a Trey Lewis free throw. That's been it in the first minute and a half. Howard Moore in his 5th season as head coach at Illinois Chicago. Well liked here by his players, and you know, he's had some bad luck with some guys getting hurt over the years and has this team going in the right direction the last couple of weeks.
When he's had talent, he's beaten the likes of Illinois even, and so he can coach. He's a good coach, and this is a pretty even matchup. It'll be a good coaching matchup as well.
Makes a look for Lee off the pick. Anton Grady on the block against Wiegand. Not much rotation on that shot. UIC the rebound. Here's Miller.
Missed the double dribble there.
DeJuan Miller under that heavy pressure from Lee, and now another double with Anton Grady. Brown for 3.
Too bad the Vikes had 3 guys around that rebound and the white shirt came out with it. You have to corral those.
Snyder for 3. Nobody's made a field goal yet. Cleveland State 0 for 1, UIC 0 for 3. Lee forces one up and in from the baseline. All net for Charlie Lee, his first two, 3-0 Cleveland State.
Charlie has been heating up over the course of the last 4 games. Look at that double team. This is what Gary Waters does so well. He preaches and teaches defense better than anybody in this league, and there's a perfect example.
That pressure defense has given the Flames some trouble here in these first 3 minutes.
They're really being aggressive on all pick and rolls. They're jumping out, hedging hard, or blitzing, as coaches like to use that term.
Fells. Finally a field goal goes, and it ties the game. Amon Fells, the three-pointer. He averages only 3 points per game. He's already at his season's average. He started the last 3 for UIC.
Well, and the Vikes have him scouted not to do that, so that's why Trey didn't close out as hard as he normally would.
Grady got to the hole and scores. Like quick first step around Wiegand.
And what a great look by Charlie Lee. He threw that pass before Anton even knew it was coming. He saw the play ahead of it happening. That's what a great point guard will do.
Miller against Lee here on the near wing. Penetration, he finds Fells. Wiegand went up, shot was blocked on the putback attempt. It'll be UIC basketball.
Looked like there was some contact. The Vikes got away with maybe a little push in the back there. Referees are letting them play a little bit.
New shot clock for Mark Brown and the Flames, who will inbound. That Cleveland State defense even making it tough to get the ball in. And how about that? Force the turnover, as that one will head out of bounds, and Cleveland State will get the ball. Now the Vikings have already forced 3 turnovers from UIC. Here comes Lance Whitaker in, the 6'4" redshirt freshman. He'll replace Mark Brown, and Howard Moore was not happy with the offense.
Well, and you know, they're just not being strong with the ball. They're not reacting well to the pressure the Vikings are putting on them right now. And early in the game, you expect them to be stronger. They're not fatigued. Shouldn't be getting pushed off balance as he did there.
Charlie Lee couldn't quite get set. Fells able to corral the rebound for the Flames. Miller working hard, the junior point guard, as Charlie Lee's been pressuring him. This is Lance Whitaker. Nice drive by Whitaker, ties the game.
The up and under, that's a fundamentally sound move right there that a lot of coaches just don't seem to get out of their players anymore.
The game even at 5, 4.5 minutes in. Here at UIC Pavilion in Chicago. Lewis to Yates down the lane. He scores with his off right hand. Great cut by Yates and an assist for Trey Lewis, who averaged just over 3 per game.
Good to see the young fella getting involved early in the offense. Look at that pressure. The Vikes can really get after you.
Open look finds Fells. Out of bounds, it'll belong to the Flames when we come back. Timeout on the floor with 14:56 to go before halftime. Vikings up 7-5. And time.
Give them all the credit. They always have the Vikes ready to play. Whether it's a big-time D1 or a mid-major, they'll be ready to go.
Starting 5 still on the floor for Cleveland State. UIC going with 4 of their 5. The only sub they have in is Lance Whitaker. This is Fells against Mason for the turnaround jumper. And get the bounce there as Anton Grady the rebound. Cleveland State trying to run. Look at Mason, wide open. Kabam! Charlie Lee found him. 9-4 CSU. Marlin his first 2.
Charlie Lee is on his game right now, both with scoring and passing and defense. He is playing at a very high level.
Whitaker double team, trouble on the sideline, threw it away. Cleveland State ball. Now this defense, swarming is a term that is used quite a bit. It's been swarming, you know, here in these first 5+ minutes as Jay Harris comes in. Mark Brown returns for UIC. Also in the lineup is Paris Byrne. Jay Harris is their leading scorer. He's taken on more of a 6th-man role here as Jay Harris scored 25. There he is against Youngstown State on Friday night. Yeah,
they're going to need him right away because they right now do not have any answer for the Vikes pressure.
Trey Lewis. Boy, somehow Grady wound up with that ball, and he gets the dunk. Now the Vikings going strong to the hole. Have a 6-point lead.
One of the things we saw the other night against Milwaukee was this full court intense pressure defense that the Vikings used to explode. They're doing it again here in Chicago. They're, dare I say, Al, dousing the Flames.
Oh boy. It only took 6 minutes to come out, 6.5.
I worked on that for a long time.
You were thinking about it in your hotel room. Well, look at the Vikings diving over the floor. Yates, but UIC with it. Grady holds his ground, knocked away again. Whitaker gets it. And now Jay Harris as UIC will slow it down.
Right now, UIC thinks there's about 8 green shirts out there guarding them. The Vikes are as active as we have seen them all year.
Penetration for Paris. Burns finds Wiegand. Mason packs his lunch. Burns, though, boy, great follow. And UIC gets their first field goal in the last 4 minutes. Lewis, the quick trigger. This is what Cleveland State wants, the up-tempo with the Flames. They feel like they can run, and they can get these guys tired out with their defense and their offense. And here we go again. Yates on the run out. Got the contact, he'll go to the line.
It is amazing when coaches talk about we want to play hard. Gary Water talks about we want to play harder, and the Vikings are playing way harder than UIC right now. Now, interestingly, Al, we talked at the break, this is the 4th turnover the Vikes have forced, but we haven't capitalized yet. If Yates can knock these down, these will be the first points we actually convert into after the steals.
Yates shooting 71% from the line this year. Southpaw nails the first one to make it 12-7. Keza Keene will check in for Trey Lewis, who sits down with a point and an assist. Keza averaging 7 points off the bench. 6'2" junior transfer from Illinois State. 7 points per game for Keene. Gives him something extra there. Yates, next free throw, no good. But look at Yates storming on the rebound. And he'll be whistled for the foul on the hole. That'll be his first foul, second against Cleveland State. Here comes Terrell Hales, the freshman.
That foul that Yates just picked up, that's called the 1 potato, 2 potato. You miss the free throw and you try to make up for it right away, and you foul. He's a young player. Gary will teach him not to do that as they go on this long league season.
Terrell Hales on Friday against Milwaukee, Pat. He played 18 minutes, most of the second half. He was a terror on defense, and there he is again in the double team. And there's a timeout for UIC. It's only a 30-second timeout, at 12:32 to go before halftime. Vikings up 12-7, but Terrell Hales, one of those freshmen that helped over by Cleveland State, hasn't cost them any thus far. Terrell Hale's only a freshman, as we were talking about him, 6'3" from Detroit, but because he's so good on defense and doesn't make mistakes on offense, he has forced himself earlier into the rotation for Cleveland State.
He's showing a wisdom. He doesn't force things. Look at the ball pressure. I mean, he is wearing number 11.
There's Jay Harris. Good move there. Look at Grady Sky for that rebound. Vikings have a 5-point lead. They'll slow it down.
And another mark of a great team is when you see multiple teammates around a rebound. That time, 3 green shirts were on that board.
Lead for Anton on the little pick and roll. Now Mason got some contact. He'll go to the line. And that's the guy they'd like to get fouls on, because Wiegand is a strong player inside for UIC. They would love to get him in foul trouble. That's his first, team's 3rd.
If he gets that a little higher on that window, this would be the and one, and those are the best players. The guys can finish and make that free throw.
Mason with 2 points today. These will be his first free tosses of the afternoon, but he misses the first one. Marlin at 74% from the line.
And again, we're just not capitalizing enough on their mistakes. We have to knock these throws down when we force them to foul.
Mason makes the next one. Vinny Zolo will enter for the first time. Vinny, 6'9" junior from Greenfield, Ohio. 4 points, 4 rebounds per night. Replaces Mason, who sits down with 3 points. And that personal foul he has as well. Vikes by 6 here. As Paris Burns will work it up the floor against Hales.
Terrell Hales can absolutely flat out guard anybody.
That ball out of bounds. They'll say last one off of UIC. 11:46 left before halftime. We'll take a timeout. Cleveland State in control thus far. Anton Grady Pat, we've been talking the last few games how important they've been, bringing a spark to this team, and look what a good defense will do. UIC struggling from the floor. Cleveland State is not.
I think Terrell and Kaiser right there are talking about who they're going to attack next coming out of that timeout. They are really getting after it.
Flames come with full court pressure. The Vikings defeated, but Terrell Hales charges over Wiegand, who takes his second charge today. First foul on Hales. And for Cleveland State, that is their third team foul.
He's just got to attack right away. He gave it a little bit of a hesitation, thinking a little bit, and that's what led to the charge. He's a young player, though. That's the hardest adjustment to make in college basketball, is on the offensive end, and how to make that decision right away and how to decide if you're going to attack or pull it back out. He'll get there.
Cleveland State looking for the trap.
Look at that pressure. I mean, they're everywhere.
Burns threw up a wild shot. Wiegand, though, an offensive rebound. Open look for Brown. Passes it up, drives instead, drew the foul on Anton Grady. So Mark Brown will go to the line. Anton Grady picks up his first personal foul, the fourth against Cleveland State, and UIC will get free throws for the first time today.
You love Anton Grady's ability to defend the rim. Occasionally, though, he gets in foul trouble, and that's something we're going to have to watch as the first half progresses here, because Anton is a presence.
Mark Brown, 85% from the line this year, gets his first point to make it 13-8. And UIC as a team shooting over 75% from the line this year. You don't want to put them at the stripe because they're good. Yeah. They can sink those, and Mark Brown gets both of his. As we'll see Hans Christian Lauer for the first time today.
And now we're seeing a strategy move. UIC is now extending into what's called a 2-2-1 zone press, just trying to make Cleveland State have to eat clock before they get in their offense. And they're dropping back to a 2-3 zone.
Cleveland State trying to work the ball around the perimeter. Keen out to Lee, and he couldn't get it. Well, the zone, first couple times we've seen it, have worked for UIC, but here comes Trey Lewis back. Cleveland State's excellent three-point shooter. Aaron Scales also in for the first time. So a little bit different look now for Gary Waters against this zone.
Well, it made Cleveland State have to change the pace of their offensive attack, and it got them out of rhythm, as you saw with the turnover.
DeJuan Miller back in running the point. Jay Harris, steady senior guard. Hans Christian Lauer scores it off the glass. He only averages 2 points per game, and UIC is within 2.
Now, one of the things you want to do is attack that high post. Get an inside-out pass from your high post, back out to the perimeter, or penetrate and pitch for the three.
Keene tied up. It's going to be a jump ball. He tried to penetrate, and that'll belong to the Flames on the alternate possession.
You know, I was uneasy early. I told you this, Al, when I saw us forcing these turnovers, but we weren't scoring. And now, Coach Moore doing a nice job switching up his defense to force turnovers, using his own strategy of a zone rather than a man.
Well, UIC's committed 5, but Cleveland State scored just 3 points off of those, while the Vikings now have committed 4. The Flames have scored 4 points off of the Vikings' turnovers. And here's Jay Harris to Hans Christian Lauer. Ties the game up. UIC has scored the last 6 points.
We're not rotating over. You always have to guard the man with the ball. Somebody's falling asleep out there, and Coach Waters is going to get DeMonte Flanagan in to try to take care of that.
Charlie Lee in the front court. That's this 2-3 UIC zone.
And they're looking very active in it themselves.
Zolo the turnaround and scores. He had no outlet. He said, heck, I'll shoot it. Why not for his first 2?
That's one of those shots where the coach is over there going, no, no, no. Oh, good shot, Vinny. Nice job. Bailed us out.
Vinny had 14 last Monday against Virginia Commonwealth. Lance Whitaker against Yates, who came back in, and Scales bumped him. So he came out on the help.
Nothing wrong with that foul. It's only the 3rd foul on the Vikes. They've been getting too much penetration on us. It's the 5th foul, I'm sorry. But it doesn't put them in the bonus. Scales is a backup, so not a bad foul.
Whitaker to inbound as DeMonte Flanagan is in for Aaron Scales. It's Jay Harris against Lewis. Tough jumper. Somehow coming away with it, Lance Whitaker. UIC a pretty good team on the offensive glass. They have a lot of opportunities, though, as they've missed a good number of shots this year. Trey Lewis, the rebound there. UIC shooting just 28% from the field in the early going.
Well, Trey's going to have to be patient now. Nice pass.
Flanagan finishes. Vinny Zolo. He's had a couple of nice assists in the month of December. There's another 4-point lead for the Vikes.
Especially from one post to the other. He's hooked up Anton Grady a number of times. That time to Flanagan.
Jay Harris, their leading scorer, going to force one up. Scored and one coming. Jay Harris gets his first basket after missing his first 3 field goals. He has an opportunity to bring the Flames to within 1 if he converts the free throw.
I'm looking at Gary Waters. He has a real quizzical look on his face. He's wondering why Trey Lewis didn't seem to know his man had the ball. Trey seemed a little bit sort of lacked concentration there, and they took advantage of it. Harris can score and get to the line and finish.
Fell into his cheerleaders there.
He was 13 of 13 from the line the other night, as we talked about in the pregame.
And 92% on the year. He just doesn't miss. And UIC's gotten it to within 1 once again. Full court look. Zolo, and like a wide receiver there, pulled that in. Slay, great penetration, finds Grady, but Anton couldn't handle it. That'll give the ball back to UIC. Cleveland State's 5th turnover today, and we have a full timeout on the floor. 7:47 to go. VCU, and then against Milwaukee, Scales and Zolo, a couple of taller players that Gary Waters has been able to work into the rotation with key minutes.
And Vinny is a nice passer too. We saw him hook up Flanagan with a beautiful dime going to the basket. As long as we get that production, we'll beat just about anybody in this league.
Jay Harris doesn't start, but he plays starters minutes. It's the ball here. Amon Fells back in. A good defense by Mason to knock it away. Harris on penetration. That's a pretty move for Jay Harris. UIC has their first lead of the day.
You know, Al, since he's come in the game, UIC has really taken control of this game. He is really making an impact.
5 points for Harris. As Cleveland State breaks the press.
We were all wondering before the game, why doesn't he start? Well, apparently Coach Moore likes to use him in this role to lift them up in that middle portion of the first half.
Kenny Carpenter into the lineup for Cleveland State, the freshman wearing number 4. 7 on the shot clock for Lewis. Penetration got to the rack and scores. Exactly what Gary Waters wants from Trey Lewis. Attack, attack, attack.
And now get into your pressure defense and try to force a few more turnovers. Let's try to score in bunches. Get a run.
Cleveland State up by 1. They're shooting 73% from the field.
Boy, he looks like he's dragging that pivot foot a little bit, Harris.
Fells can't get the 3. Another rebound for Anton Grady. That's his 4th. Vikes with the ball in a 1-point lead. Carpenter to the hole. Monfels the rebound for UIC. Now the Flames trying to run. Whitaker. Yep, there you go, Pat.
I called it.
Yep, switch the pivot feet. Jay Harris called for traveling.
He seems to just drag that pivot foot almost every time he catches it. That time they called it on him. You watch how his feet shuffle. All right. So it's just a real quick shuffle after his toes have already touched the ground, and you just can't do that.
Mason down the lane, scores the bunny. That's what you can do when you attack the press. Sometimes it leaves you open for that lane drive that Mason converted. Jay Harris the other way, though. Yates on the run out. Miller trying to catch him. Can't do it. Andre Yates has 5 in
Here
Cleveland
comes
State.
the run.
Yep, out to a 5-point lead. Now the Vikings are shooting 71% from the field this first half. They shot 82% from the field against Milwaukee in the second half.
One of the things Gary's doing is he's using his bench depth, and they have fresh bodies out there right now.
That's Whitaker for 2. It's his second field goal today. He has 4. The Vikes lead at 3. This UIC team a little bit different than what we saw last year. They've got some players that can score like Harris and Wiegand. The defense has improved.
Nice job of ball movement.
Found Grady with the bucket and one coming. Cleveland State by 5, and he'll try to make it 6.
Look at the ball movement here, Al. Ball hits the high post, gets swung around, back in, back out, back in, and there you go. That's how you beat the zone.
Foul on Whitaker was his first. That is the 4th against the Flames here in the first half. As Whitaker is out of the game.
It took the Vikes a few minutes to adjust to the 2-2-1, 2-3 look, but that's evidence that they are making that adjustment. And I would imagine Moore is going to have to switch back to the man shortly.
Mark Brown back in for UIC. 6-point lead for the Vikings. And matches their largest here today. Fells.
That looked like a walk, too.
Brown in trouble. Somehow found Wiegand, who scores the bunny. First 2 for Wiegand, who averages 13 a game. Trey Lewis. The find for Grady. Couldn't get it up there in a crowd. DeJuan Miller, the run out.
There's a travel.
Wiegand blocked by Grady. Look at Grady on defense. The block shot and the rebound. Now Grady already with 7 points, 5 boards.
Too, after he made the block and recovered it. He was snarling. That's what you love to see out of shot blockers.
You always did that back in the 80s when you played. That's when nobody got near you.
Yeah, I had 1 shot block in my entire career, I think.
Yeah, but you look tough.
I snarl a lot.
Lewis for the triple. Count it. Trey Lewis in rhythm there with that dribble. That's his move right there. A few dribbles out top and sink it. He has 6.
And that's why he's leading the Horizon League. He can really, really stroke it.
Harris cut off. Mark Brown in traffic. Boy, almost got the bucket too. Cleveland State 7-point leaders will take a break with 3:30 to go before halftime. Watch Lewis.
Guards can really fill it up. Coach Moore did a nice job switching to that 2-2-1, 2-3 zone. It'll be interesting to see if he switches back to the man because the Vikes are going on a run here.
UIC a perfect 3 of 3 at the line today. Make it 4 of 4 now as Mark Brown is 3 of 3 himself. He has all 3 of his points there.
He made a great athletic move to get to the line in this last effort.
Mark Brown with 4 points, all at the free throw line.
And there's the adjustment. Now they're in a man-to-man. They've come out of the zone, and now they're going to a man-to-man.
Cleveland State with their starting 5 except for Kenny Carpenter on the floor. Here's Kenny.
And the Vikes have switched up now. They're in a dribble weave offense that we haven't seen yet.
Lee needs some help. Loose ball. Harris has got it for UIC. And the Flames got a timeout. So UIC used 2 timeouts now in this first half.
Yeah, and the adjustment that they made again. So they are a balanced team. I would be surprised if they end up last in the Horizon League. I think they're going to climb.
Hans Christian Lauer back in for the Flames, who trail by 5. Now Trey Lewis will mark DeJuan Miller. Charlie Lee has gone to guard Jay Harris. Miller trying to penetrate. Lewis not letting him. Yates taps it away.
That's a constant with the Vikes. They have quick hands. They get a lot of deflections.
Short shot clock here. 5 to shoot for Harris. Brown at the buzzer. It's UIC within 2. They're on a 5-point run. Mark Brown with 6 points.
He looks good.
Now they'll say that was only a 2-pointer. So it's a 3-point game. Mason open. Count it. You leave Marlin open for a 3-pointer, he can hit that shot. Marlin from 3-point range this year above 44%.
And that's a good sign for Cleveland State. More offensive balance is always a positive.
Marlon Mason with a game-high 8 points.
He's looked aggressive today, both ends.
Brown lost the handle. Grady leading the break. Telegraphed the pass, and now UIC can counter. Fells lays it in.
And that's why you don't want your big man leading the break, because those are the types of mistakes that will often occur.
A lead at 4 for the Vikings, who are shooting 72% from the field. However, UIC is leading the battle of the boards 15-8. So they're +7. Well, there's a hold there as Trey Lewis was about to drive to the basket and Mark Brown grabbed him. A foul on Mark Brown. It's his second. That'll be just the 5th against UIC.
One of the subtle things that Coach Moore is doing to defend Trey Lewis is he's face guarding. Mark Brown has no help responsibilities anywhere else. He's just in Trey's face. That time he got too close on the pick and he picked up the foul.
Brown and Lauer out. Wiegand and Whitaker back in for the Flames.
The Vikings have now switched up their offensive look again.
Charlie Lee with some pressure from Miller. Trey Lewis to go to work. Got the ball away to Grady.
Good hustle.
And Anton with the jump shot.
What a nice job by both Trey and Anton to recover that loose ball. That was that extra effort that coaches talk about all the time.
Grady now leading all scorers with 9 points. Fells tried to find Wiegand, and it's knocked out of bounds by Mason. It'll be UIC ball with 18 to shoot. See the difference there between the shot and game clock, about 15 seconds.
I don't know where Cleveland State ranks in the country in terms of deflections, but they have to be near the top. They get their hands on a lot of passes.
Juan Miller will set up the offense from near mid-floor. Here's the double team. Whitaker. Now Fells with a short shot clock. Almost got another one with it winding down, but Charlie Lee, the Vikings rebound. Shot clock is off here. Cleveland State can play for the last shot. Lee in trouble. Trey Lewis got it at the horn, falling out of bounds. Oh my goodness, that's why he's one of the best.
Well, UIC could not have defended this any better.
The Vikings have the lead in the ball to begin half number 2. Second half starters, Yates, Lewis, Grady, Lee, and Mason for CSU. For UIC, it's Miller, Snyder, Brown, Fells, and Wiegand. Cleveland State looks to increase this 9-point advantage. Grady fails on his first shot attempt here of the second half. UIC trying to run. Gave Snyder the pull-up three-pointer. Fells the offensive rebound and the putback. Well, UIC's great on the offensive glass. That's their 9th offensive rebound today. Cleveland State doesn't have one offensive rebound.
Well, and I was wondering how UIC would respond after Lewis hit that dagger 3 at the end of the first half. That's an important first possession for them.
Trey Lewis with that three-pointer falling out of bounds as the clock was winding down to end the half. Double team, but found Grady. There's the ball movement. Mason's the open look. Can't get the three-pointer. And Wiegand has the rebound for UIC. There's the offensive rebounds. That's where UIC has excelled. And how about Miller selling to the hole for his first 2 today? And just like that, UIC cuts this lead down to 5.
Well, just when you think the Vikes are getting control of this game, UIC comes out ready to play.
Mason finds Grady.
Nice pass.
Got to the hole strong. 11 for Grady to lead all scorers. Another nice dime for the Vikings. Marlon Mason the assist.
Very unselfish, very smart play to find Anton there.
Mark Brown backs down Yates. Nice move in the post. Scored and a foul on Yates. That's his second personal foul, first of the second half against either side. And Mark Brown can be tough in the post when he has a height advantage.
This is a strategy move. They ran a pick to get the bigger guard on the smaller guard, hoping to get that mismatch, and it worked right there.
Mark Brown, who always seems to have good games against Cleveland State, already at his season's average of 8. The free throw gives him 8 still as he misses. That's the first miss today for the Flames. They're 5 of 6 at the line. Vikes by 5 with the basketball. Mason. A little high for Grady and out of bounds. But UIC, I believe, got a fingertip on that. They did. So Cleveland State will maintain.
They're really
possession.
giving Mason a lot of room there to decide if he wants to shoot or drive or pass. Be interesting to see if he can take advantage of all that room he's getting.
Lewis. Yates for three. Cleveland State cold to begin the second half. Just 1 of 4. Wide open look, but a miss for DeJuan Miller. Anton Grady, his 7th rebound today.
And he yanked that one in.
How about Yates? The strong drive to the hole. 7 for Andre Yates, right at his season's average.
And that is Yates's, that is his strength. You know, he airballed the 3 in the previous possession. I like how he responded by attacking the next time he got it.
Charlie Lee called for a hold there. First foul on Lee. That's the second against Cleveland State here in the second half, as Terrell Hales will hop back in for Andre Yates, who will sit down with 7 points, a rebound, an assist, and 2 fouls. And there's Hales again. After the way he played on Friday defensively, you knew more minutes were coming today.
He's the Energizer Bunny on this team, and you know, they want him to. They don't want Brown to take advantage of that mismatch, and that's why they subbed him in.
There's Fells. Well, Marlin giving him the shot, but Fells didn't want it.
See, they're still trying to post Brown up. That was the mismatch they wanted to continue to try to exploit in this half.
Snyder backdoor, but Lewis got a piece. Brown up and down. Loose ball. Gary Waters calling timeout. He got it in. Cleveland State has the ball, and Jamie Lucky says Gary Waters got the timeout. So it'll be Cleveland State ball when we come back. It's a
big factor.
Saw Norris last year when he was in town with the Heat. Really the same kid, not much difference.
Came to the alumni game in mid-September. He was at the Cleveland State alumni game as a coach of one of the teams, and I believe he won the game.
I heard you wanted to guard him, and
he didn't want any.
Luckily
piece.
for you,
he didn't want any piece of me.
Cleveland State breaks the full court pressure.
I wouldn't have been able to catch him, let alone guard him.
That's true.
I wouldn't have been in the same zip code.
No, that's a fair point. I'm not going to disagree with that analysis. And Marlon Mason tried to force it.
He just didn't look. Marlon just turned and thought that Anton would be there. He's got to turn and see the pass first before he tries to squeeze it through there.
Turnovers even at 8. Cleveland State in the lead by 7 here in Chicago. Both teams 1-0 in the Horizon League in the early part of the season. Foul off the ball there. There's a hold.
Yeah, well, here Terrell got caught. You know, when you get back screen, you're supposed to step over the top of the screen. He got caught trying to chase underneath and got caught up in the screen and held on to Brown. And that's the guy they're trying to really go to.
Second foul on Hales. Third against CSU here in the second half. DeJuan Miller, transfer from Eastern Arizona, working the offense. Wiegand lost the ball. Cleveland State takes it away. Here comes Lewis. Wants to run, but the Flames are back. Trey Lewis using the left hand, but couldn't get it off the glass.
I find it so interesting to see that.
Oh, Marlon Mason,
wow,
my goodness. Second strong block today.
What a great help defender Marlon Mason is. Look at this athleticism.
You can join us.
We're flying first class to those, aren't we?
Yes, we are. Nothing but the best for you. We understand that was in your contract.
You threw me in the back seat on the way up here. What are you talking about?
Come on. UIC with the ball. They're down by 7. Cleveland State has led this game for 21 minutes and 18 seconds. UIC for 35 seconds, but they're still in it. Alon Fells, a pretty left-handed little turnaround shot there from the block. Fells has 9 and leads the Flames, who are hanging around. Cleveland State by 5.
You know, I wonder if those UIC guards went into the locker room and said, Coach, we can post these smaller Cleveland State guards up. Let us do it. And it's a nice adjustment that they've gone to here.
Grady to Mason. Got the blocking foul. He'll go to the line and shoot 2 as Mark Brown tried to set up, but wasn't quite there. So Mason to the line, where today he's 1 of 2. And Marlon with 8 points, 3 block shots today.
This Cleveland State team is really growing as a hard-working, blue-collar, but also unselfish team. And Anton Grady, we talked about his ability to score, block shots, and rebound. He just made a beautiful pass to set Marlin up for this free throw shooting opportunity. And when you see that type of teamwork, those are great signs for the league play.
Jay Harris is back. Mark Brown with those 3 fouls has to check out. Mason converts both free throws. He has 10. Jay Harris on the floor for UIC. They will try to get the ball in his hands whenever possible. Lance Whitaker also back for the Flames.
Boy, this Terrell Hales just seems to glide around the floor.
Nice backdoor cut there by Fells. Got to the hole and scored. Boy, Amon Fells with the 11. He averages just 3 points coming in. But he has really helped the Flames today stay in this game. Again, the Vikes lead down to 5.
Both teams extending their pressure, trying to make the other team eat the shot clock. Now they're back into the zone again. It's a 2-2-1, back to a 2-3. Flash the high post, high-low, there it is.
Boy, great pass by Mason. Found Grady, who converts the layup. Grady with 13.
That time he opened and looked before he passed, and that's why it connected.
Cleveland State again up by 7. Teams trading baskets. Fells has the hot hand, but gives it up to Miller. Here's Whitaker.
Look at that. Cleveland State is so active defensively. They really are. There's a foul.
Wigan bumped Lewis as Lewis was about to step in front of Harris, and Wigan gave him a knee. Knew he did it. Just turned around and walked the other way.
And that's as much Harris's fault as it is Wigan, because Harris has to keep his dribble alive until that screen gets there. He left a little bit too early and, forced his teammate to pick up a foul.
Second foul against UIC here in the second half. Second on Wigan personally, as you get a look at the field goal percentages here in the second half. Cleveland State led it by 9 at the halftime break. That was their largest lead. 7-point advantage here. Marlin having a good game. Strong to the hole, the reverse layup. Marlon Mason with a dozen.
And we talked there's the result of the pressure. It's a cumulative thing, and Cleveland State forces another turnover.
Vikings by 9. That matches their largest lead. They'll try to increase it here.
Constant pressure just wears your opponent down, and it forces them into careless turnovers.
Tough pass for Anton, but he collects outside the arc. Wise reset to Lee as Cleveland State with plenty of time on the shot clock. And now we have a illegal screen.
One of the points of emphasis for officials on these side pick and rolls is to watch if the defender opens too early. That's automatically going to be called a moving screen. He has to stay set. He can't roll into the defender too early, and that's what Marlin did there.
Second
good call.
call.
That was a good call.
On Mason, that's the 4th against CSU. On Miller under some pressure here. Now Cleveland State's making UIC work on offense.
And I've seen Gary Waters' teams play for many years. This may be one of the most athletic and hardest working teams he's had.
Whitaker cut off. It's out of bounds. Boy, that pressure defense forces another turnover. That's the 12th for the Flames today.
We talked about it the other night in our broadcast on the radio. Pressure defense, especially extended pressure like the Vikes are showing, wears you down, and then all of a sudden you get that big run, and then Cleveland State opens up that lead like they did against Milwaukee the other night.
So DeJuan Miller out of the lineup for UIC. And to replace him is Paris Burns. There's the turnover story.
And wait till this Terrell Hales kid gets confidence offensively. Then that's just going to be more gravy for the Vikes.
Grady. Boy, got stuffed that time by Fells. Here's Harris. Great find. Oh, Anton Grady. Lance Whitaker maybe should have gone straight up, Pat, and Anton got the block, and UIC cannot convert on the break.
They got Anton at this end, but he hustled back. I love that. He hustled back to get the block at the other end. That's that extra effort. He gets blocked at this end, but then he goes down, he sprints down the other end, and there he comes. Get it out of here.
And Wigan, I think, just took an extra step, but before the extra step, they'll say that Grady pushed him. The foul on Grady is his second. That's the 5th against Cleveland State.
Goes and pats the official on the rear end. Saying, that's a good call. Just don't give me another one. I might not pat you the next time.
Harris Burns around to pick.
Boy, this Terrell Hales. This kid,
him.
you know who he reminds me of is Cleveland State legend Kenny Robertson, who at one time was the all-time leader in steals in NCAA history, whose older brother was Alvin Robertson. Terrell reminds me a lot of Kenny Robertson.
You were on the court with him a number of times.
Oh, yeah. I ran away from him in practice.
Sure you did.
Good.
Fells, boy, he's having a great day today. 13 for Amon Fells, and that's a new career high for the senior. And the Vikings lead down to 7.
When you don't have a true big man, post up your bigger guards, and that's what UIC is exploiting right now.
Mason on the drive. Got stripped, but it came to Grady. He'll go to the line and shoot 2 as he drew the foul there. And another thing for UIC today, you know, Ty Odiasi, a freshman from Flossmoor, Illinois, excellent shot blocker. He's been hurt the last few games, and they have missed him inside. And Anton Grady, who's got 13, he'll look for 14 and 15 at the line here. He's made him pay.
He has, and he's going to make a lot of people pay in this league. What I like out of Anton lately, he's playing stronger with the ball in his hands. That time he picked it up. It was a tough pickup. He picked it up, and then he lunged to the basket, and now he capitalizes with the 2 free throws.
Anton with the game-high 15 points. He'll stay on the floor as Marlon Mason checks out for Vinny Zolo. Marlon today, solid effort, 12 points, 2 assists, and 3 block shots. Cleveland State again up by 9. They've never led by more than that today. Led by 9 3 different times. Yates return for Hales. He's working on Paris Burns defensively. With Jay Harris, great drive to the hole, and he finishes it off.
That was a big-time move by Harris.
7 points for Jay Harris off the bench.
He squirted through the double team and then used the near-handed layup. That's a pro move.
Lee for 3. Monfels the rebound. That's his 6th today. Harris. Cut off by Yates, who knocked the ball away.
You better not relax with the ball in your hands against this Viking team. They'll poke at it, they'll deflect it, they'll dive on the floor.
Harris trying to find an opening. Finds Whitaker for the triple right there. Lance Whitaker with 7 points. That's his first 3-pointer today in UIC.
UIC's making a run.
They've scored the last 5. They're within 4. Also made their last 3 field goals to get right back into this one. Lee for the long triple, counted. Charlie said, if you're going to give me a little space, I'll take advantage. Well, a big bucket there, too, to stop that UIC
What an
run.
answer. What an answer. That's what you love. You answer that 3 from the other end.
He's got 5 today. Wiegand against Zolo. Vinny called for the foul, so Wiegand will shoot free throws when we return. Vinny's first personal foul, 6th against Cleveland State. How about Jay Harris? Little EuroLeague drive. Zolo, Lee, Grady, Lewis, and Yates on the floor. UIC counters with Whitaker, Burns, Harris, Fells, and Wiegand at the line. Jake Wiegand, 74% from the stripe this year. And his first one is nothing but net here. He's got 3 points today. The Vikes have done a nice job on him. He averages 13 points and 8 rebounds per game. Today he's 3 and 4.
He hasn't even had many attempts because Anton Grady has been so active.
The Cleveland State Vikings couldn't get the rebound, and UIC another offensive rebound today. That is their 14th offensive rebound. Now, Cleveland State shooting 65% from the field. It's part of the reason why opportunities aren't there. But here's one on the break for Charlie Lee. Cleveland State by 6.
They're really, I'll tell you, this has been a very well-played game from both teams. Very well-coached game.
Lee finding a hot hand here in the second half. 2 consecutive threes. He's got 8. Vikes by 9 once again.
When you have your point guard that can do that, along with your league-leading 2 guard who could do that, that's a tough guard for anybody in the country.
He's working hard on Paris Burns here.
Look at that.
He wants 5 seconds, didn't get it. So does Gary Waters.
Gary was doing a few lane slides in front of us here on that.
Fell's wide open. Look at Lee. He says, fine, I'll take the rebound instead.
He can go outside from deep and inside to rebound.
Grady. From the perimeter, he scores. Anton with 17, a game high. And we've got a timeout called by the UIC Flames. They've got, I think, 1 remaining. Or is there 2 left for UIC? It's a 30-second timeout. 2 timeouts left with 9:20. Kicking the basket like they did on Friday, and that's what they're doing here today.
Our producer, Adam Coppinger, just made a great comment. He's so hot, they've been icing him down on the sideline. I love it. Way to go, Adam.
UIC with the ball, trailing by 11 to 1. Miller running the point here against Yates.
Now he's guarding the post.
Yates watches as Harris took the 3 and missed it, but an offensive putback by Mark Brown. He's got 10, and UIC back to within 9.
Well-coached teams always crash the board on every attempt, and Howard Moore does a great job of teaching his guys to do that.
How about that? When you're hot, you get the bounce. 3-pointer for Charlie Lee.
He's like a boxer. They put the towel in the water on him at the timeout to make sure he can keep it going, and he's still throwing haymakers.
You got that shooter's touch, boy, and look at that, another good defensive play down low as the ball was denied. Whoa, Anton and Wigan. Oh, Wigan turned around and got Lee. Let's see what's going to happen. Howard Moore quickly on the floor.
Well, there may be a few ejections here. This was not good.
Now let's see. They're going to. The officials, I'm sure, will talk. They'll look at the video. They'll sort it out. Anton not happy. Now the Vikings have frustrated Jake Wigan today. He's only got 4 points. The average is 13. Let's take a look, Pat, at what happened here.
It looked like the big guy from UIC wasn't happy, and it, even well after.
And the other was on Lee.
On
his
Charlie
second.
Lee, number 31. That's
okay.
correct.
So the technicals offset. Wigan with 2 technicals is automatically ejected. You saw him going to the locker room. So Lee and Grady both have 1 technical. On the alternate possession, it's UIC's ball. Team fouls now 8 against the Vikings, 5 against the Flames.
Yeah, once that whistle is blown and clearly blown, play stops. You have to stop. It's a dead ball. You have to stop, and they did not.
And they got it right. I think that was the right decision. Mark Brown for 3. No good. Grady, another rebound for the Vikings, and a great save out to Mason. So Cleveland State with the ball and a 12-point lead, and more importantly, Grady and Lee stay on the floor for Cleveland State. While Jake Wigan had to hit the showers for UIC.
And that was, Jake was frustrated. He hadn't had his normal game that he's been having. He's been very consistent all year round for UIC. Wasn't getting that today, and that was clearly out of frustration.
Jay Harris the other way. Look at that shot. Almost got it. Threw up a prayer, and it was nearly answered. Now Lee on the run out. And he was grabbed there by Lance Whitaker. He's called for the hold. That is his 2nd personal. 6th against UIC. Cleveland State heading to the break now with a 12-point lead over the Flames. Gary Waters trying to get his 2nd win in the HL this year. It's Webstream Productions doing a great job bringing this one to you in Cleveland and in Northern Ohio on Sports Time Ohio, and in Chicago today on Comcast Chicago. We thank you to wherever you are for joining us for the action between Cleveland State and the UIC Flames. 2nd game of the Horizon League for both teams. Both clubs 1-0 in league play, and the Vikings a big advantage here. Up by 12 is Charlie Lee in trouble on the sideline. He got held as he tried to drive around DeJuan Miller.
In the last 6 possessions, Charlie Lee has taken this game over. 3 3-pointers, a rebound. He's drawn fouls. He's going to go to the free throw line now. I mean, this guy, in his last 3-minute stretch, the great players instinctively know when to take a game over, and Charlie Lee has shown that he can be a great player.
He's got a 1-and-1 here as he sinks the first one. 90% on the year from the line for Charlie, and he's right at his season's average of 11 points per game. 1 more free throw. See, he nails the bonus as well. Charlie, when he's got a rhythm going, he hits the bottom of the cup every time.
Well, and we saw it start in the second half of that Milwaukee game the other night. He's carrying it forward here today.
Jay Harris against Yates. Now Miller. Got the penetration and couldn't get the bucket, but drew the foul. The foul is going to be on Marlon Mason. Got him with the body. Call hold on Marlon. His third personal foul. Team foul number 9 in the second half on CSU. That'll send DeJuan Miller to the line, who's shooting 74% on the year. First free throws today for Miller. He has 2 points and a team high 5 assists. First one here is no good as UIC made their first 6 free throws. Pat, they've missed their last 3 as a team.
And maybe the melee is causing them to lose their composure a little bit here. There's
he misses the next one as well. Mason the rebound for Cleveland State. That's his first rebound today, but he has 12 points and 3 blocked shots.
Well, and UIC's strategy was to not let this guy beat him. They didn't want Trey Lewis. He's only had 6 shot attempts today, and they're trying to make other people beat him, but Marlon has taken full advantage of that today.
So is Charlie Lee here in the second half. Going to work again on a short shot clock. How about that pass? But Grady can't convert. Got his own rebound, though, and he drew the foul. It's a hold on the floor. It's on Christian Lauer. So Grady didn't get the dunk, but give him credit. He didn't give up.
And can I say enough about this Charlie Lee guy? Look at this pass. Left-handed scoop pass. No look. The guy's doing it all. And his teammates are really benefiting. And yeah, as you said, Al, Anton is sticking with it, being strong. He's a good free throw shooter. He'll knock these down. But Charlie Lee is balling right now.
He's having a great second half. That was Lauer's first foul. Anton misses the front end, but look at Mason keeping the ball alive. However, Mark Brown tracks it down for the Flames. 14-point lead for the Vikings. UIC is just 1 of 5 in their last 5 field goal attempts, and another great defensive play there as Grady stopped Harris. Here's Lance Whitaker. Jay Harris blocked again. Mason and Grady both there. They give it to Marlon. That'll be his 4th block shot today. They got the underside of the rim, so a new shot clock for the Flames.
Chicago is proving to be Marlon's kind of town, isn't it? Yeah, you didn't like that one, did you?
Yates is out there flipping around a little bit. See him here, he's holding his right knee. He's going to come to the bench. Meanwhile, Harris drew the foul. So we get a look at it here. A great camera shot.
Like a bruise.
Yeah, he's got the
might be
bands
a thigh
underneath
bruise
there.
Or a knee-to-knee bruise type of thing.
It's Max Benton taking a look at him. Derek Sloan will come in for the first time today. Terrell Hales will also return. Derek, the 6'6" redshirt freshman from Moreland Hills and St. Ignatius. Jay Harris, the last guy you want to put at the line if you're an opponent. Jay Harris now over 93% for the year from the line. Going back to Friday night and today, he's made 16 straight free throws.
This kid's an intriguing player.
Started in the Horizon League with Valpo, Pat, and then transferred to Wagner. Now transferred here to UIC. He's from the area, from Harvey, Illinois. Charlie Lee wants timeout. 5:55 to go. That's Cleveland State's 3rd use. They have 2 left as well as UIC. Cleveland State up by 12 here. And Gary Waters wants to make sure the Vikings don't let UIC has lost 2 of their key players in the post.
Yeah.
Cleveland State taking advantage today. There's Marlon.
It's great to see Marlon. You know, Marlon's struggled these last few games, at least offensively. Now they've switched into a 1-2-2 zone. It's a 1-3-1 actually.
There's Lewis from the corner. Couldn't get the triple. Fells the rebound. DeJuan Miller. Slow it down as the Vikings back defensively. Derek Sloan with some good defense. And we've got a jump ball. That'll belong to CSU on the alternate possession.
And now, Sloan, you know, now Sloan comes off the bench. He brings it. Again, that active hands. I don't know if there's anybody better in the country, and I'm not just saying this, than Gary Waters and his staff at teaching their players how to deflect passes, block shots. It's a trademark of his great coaching.
Cleveland State with some good ball movement here. Nothing available for Terrell Hales, and the Vikings with a 12-point lead. He'll be very wise, beyond his years for a freshman with that reset. Here's Sloan. Lost the ball, and Jay Harris has it for UIC. Fells will go to the line and shoot 2 as he draws another foul. Fells with a career-high 13 points today. He'll go to the free throw line for the first time. He's only 4 of 7 from the line this year for 57%. One of the few UIC players that isn't shooting well from the line.
Well, and the other guys are missing earlier, so he'll probably step up and make them. And you have a knack, by the way. When you say they're going to make them, they miss them. And when you say, I mean, you really,
is that what happens?
You call it. I don't know, Hal. You got. There you go. No, you were right about that. The percentages do not lie most of the time.
I see where you were going there, though. Your theory was very interesting.
Yeah, they really do a great job, and that's like a third in the NCAA, first in the Horizon League, 260. That's teams that can get to the line are hard to beat, and that's why UIC will challenge in this league this year.
So both free throws missed by Amon Fells. He's now 4 of 9 on the year from the stripe. Derek Sloan got his second rebound already. He's played just a minute off the bench here in the second half. Charlie Lee against a double team. Serendipitous bounce for the Vikings. Trey Lewis. Back to Lee in a reset with a short shot clock. It's under 10. Charlie trying to get free. For 3. Boy, if that one would have come down on the other side of the glass, I think it was ticketed for the cylinder, but it went over.
Charlie's feeling it. That one didn't go, but he's feeling it.
He has 13 points today, 4 of 7 from the field, 3 of 5 behind the arc, 2 of 2 at the free throw line. He also has a Vikings high 5 assists.
This is a big possession for UIC right here. They're still in it, 4:16 to go. They're only down 12.
Harris,
not what they wanted.
Exactly what the Vikings wanted, though, is Jay Harris is the guy that could get him back, but they've done a whale of a job on him. Jay Harris just 3 of 11 from the field today. He scored 25 against Youngstown State on Friday night. Vikings with a 12-point lead. They've got no problem working the shot clock. Try to shorten this game, and if the Vikings hold on for the final 4 minutes, they'll be alone in first place here in the early part of the Horizon League season. Here's Lewis. Couldn't convert, knocked out of bounds. It'll be UIC ball with 3:46 to go in regulation. We'll take our final timeout. Cleveland State up by a dozen here in Chicago. Cleveland State basketball brought to you by Cedar Points.
If you're battling addiction.
And then you add a guy like Marlon Mason to the mix, that's when you're really tough to beat.
There's Trey Lewis getting a blow here. It's Terrell Hales, Cleveland State's stalwart freshman defender. He's working on the ball here against DeJuan Miller. Now Jay Harris. Brown for 3. Right there. Mark Brown can heat it up.
That was a biggie.
He has 13. UIC still in this game. The lead's down to 9. Cleveland State take a lot of shot clock here as Charlie Lee working to the head against Miller. Kaysa Keene came in during the timeout.
Interesting how Gary has stayed with a few of his backups.
How about Charlie Lee? Counted and one coming. Charlie Lee with 16. He'll look for 17 at the line, and boy, he is back. His 10th game today. It took him some to get back into a rhythm, but he has found it here now.
He just look at the attack. Gets the body into the defender. Nice touch, leaning in, and makes the free throw to boot.
Comes Trey Lewis in for Terrell Hales. Cleveland State back up by 11. Charlie Lee with that free throw has 15.
Interesting.
He's got 16 today.
Yeah.
Vikings by 12.
The Vikes continue to extend their pressure. Don't take the foot off the pedal.
Gabe Snyder back in for the Flames. Snyder a little long on the three-pointer. Battle for the rebound. It'll be a jump ball. That'll belong to UIC on the alternate possession.
Anton Grady, again, continuing to stay active. You know, he normally averages about 5 rebounds per game. He's now up to 10, I believe, for the game. That was his 9th rebound. He's almost at a double-double.
Miller for Jay Harris. Got penetration, drew the foul, and almost got the bucket as well as Anton Grady grabbed him up top. For Anton Grady, that'll be his 4th personal foul. Cleveland State already over the 10-foul limit. Harris to the line. This is money in the bank here as Jay Harris today from the line is 3 of 3. He was 13 of 13 against Youngstown State on Friday night in the Flame win in their Horizon League opener. Wow. He's just got a real nice stroke. Good follow through, textbook.
You know, if he was a little bit stronger with that touch, you know, from the field and the free throw line, it's a kid that could maybe play at the next level. He could certainly play somewhere, being able to score points in this fashion.
Harris sinks them both. He has 11. Cleveland State's lead at 10. The Vikings break the full court pressure. Trey Lewis. You keep the ball in Lewis or Lee's hands here. UIC really doesn't have the option to foul, as they're both so good from the free throw line, especially in the late going.
Coach Waters and his staff have really done a nice job of using their bench today.
How about Charlie Lee again? Big second half for the smallest guy on the floor. Charlie Lee with 18. That's a game high. Jay Harris draws the foul again. He'll go back to the line. Boy, Charlie Lee, an incredible second half.
Charlie Lee has been leading the troops, you know, and not just, you know, and he was silent for most of the game. This is what's amazing, is he was silent for most of the game, and then right when UIC began to make a lead, he decided, well, I'm not going to be silent anymore. Splash, 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 3 threes in a row. Throws a great pass to Anton Grady for an easy interior pass finish. And now he's finishing the game off.
Lee had 2 points in the first half, 16 here in the second. And he's gotten some big buckets here to keep this one a double-digit lead for Cleveland State. Jay Harris makes both free throws, so he has 13. A trio of Flames have 13. Harris, Brown, and Phelps. Cleveland State led by Lee with 18, Grady with 17, Mason with 12 as the Vikings work the clock here with this 10-point advantage. Dangerous back pass for Keene, but knocked out of bounds by DeJuan Miller. Vikings will maintain possession. Terrell Hale's coming in for Cleveland State. And he'll replace Keza Keene. Sits down scoreless today.
You know, coaches talk about 3 things. You see Coach Moore there. They talk about 3 things: play hard, play smart, play together. But Gary Waters talks about playing harder than your opponent. And it's very evident that Cleveland State has played harder than UIC today.
Boy, if Lee would have got that one. And he's made a number of great shots today. Uh-oh, Harris open for 3. Unable to hit it, though. Snyder backs it up for 3. And we've got a whistle. And a foul on Marlon Mason on the rebound, and I think Marlon's just fouled out. Yep, that's his 5th personal foul, so he's disqualified with 12 points, 2 assists, a rebound.
The Vikes need to be careful.
Today.
The Vikes need to be careful, Hilaire. There's still plenty of time for UIC to creep back in there.
No, and here's the thing. They're trying to get back in it, Pat, with the threes, but UIC has been terrible from distance today. Just 3 of 17 behind the arc, while Cleveland State 6 for 12 on 3-pointers.
They'd be better off to do what they're doing right now, is draw a foul, go to the line, score when the clock is stopped, and then jump into some kind of defense. So, you know, if they knock these 2 down, they could get a quick steal or 2, and then this is a game.
Mark Brown with 14 now, leads the Flames. He'll have 1 more. Looking for 15 points. He already has 8 rebounds. He knocks that one down as well. So it's an 8-point game. Now,
it's a dangerous spot right now. The Vikes can't get the ball in bounds. They'll call a timeout. Gary's getting ready. I can see him studying it right now.
Vikes have 2 left, so do the Flames. Sloan stripped and fouled as DeJuan Miller grabbed him on the wrist. 3rd foul against DeJuan Miller. That's the 10th against UIC. So Derek Sloan will get a couple of free throws here as we walk it down to the other end. Derek this year just 1 of 1 from the free throw line.
This is a kid that has the athletic ability to help Cleveland State. I'm really impressed with Gary Waters and his staff, how they've stayed with him over this 4-minute stretch. And really, while it's still a game, they know this kid can play. They want to give him quality minutes. And he knocks that free throw down, showing he deserves to be in this moment.
Excellent high school career at St. Ignatius. Played for Sean O'Toole.
Wonderful kid.
Redshirt freshman. He's one of those kids like Tim Kamchik. Redshirt your freshman year as a walk-on. Work your way into a scholarship. By the time you're an upperclassman, you're playing key minutes. Jay Harris with a good dish. Phelps keeps it alive. 3rd tip didn't go. Anton Grady the rebound. Cleveland State with a 10-point lead. We'll get Anton on the line, and boy, look at Amon Fells. He has played a great game today. He has a career-high 13 points, 10 rebounds. He's got his first career double-double, and he's frustrated he couldn't get it to go there. But, man, he is working hard, and he's a big reason why the Flames stayed within striking distance.
They have some athletic kids. They really do. They got nothing in the post today. They couldn't score inside. I mean, they're probably under double figures for the game. This guy's a big reason why. He's been a presence at the rim and on the boards all game long.
Anton with the double-double, 18 points, 10 boards. From the line today, he's 4 of 5. One more, looking for a game-high 19. Couldn't get it, so he stays tied with Charlie Lee for the game-high, 18 each. Jay Harris ran into Sloan, great defense, so went out of bounds. It went off Cleveland State, though. Tell you what, Derek just stood his ground there against Jay Harris. He's also another smart player for only a freshman.
Well, and, you know, he played for Sean O'Toole over there at Ignatius. And one thing, Sean really excels at teaching defense. Oh, there's a big three.
Yeah, Mark Brown, the three-pointer. Give him 18. Timeout UIC. They've got one left.
What do you want your floor general to do?
He's done it all tonight. He also has a team-high 5 assists. Grady looking for a teammate. Finds Lewis. Stripped and fouled by Jay Harris in the backcourt. It'll be the second foul on Harris. Both teams over the 10-foul limit, so Trey Lewis will get a couple of free throws. Trey on the season, 79% from the line. Today he is 1 for 2. He has only 9 points today, but he's found other ways to distribute, and you talk about other players stepping up. Again, that's happened today. Grady 18, Lee 18, Mason 12. So Lewis will probably get double figures here at some point today, but when he's around 10 instead of his typical 20, as he misses the first one, the Vikings have other options that show through today.
And then Coach will certainly be happy and very pleased that Marlon has gotten back in. And you know, he should be super pleased with Trey because he's continued to play tremendously hard defensively. You know, there's other ways to help your team when you don't always have to be the scorer.
Gabe Snyder with 3. Now it's a 6-point game with 40 seconds to go. And Gary Waters is not happy. Well, UIC coming alive late from behind the arc. They were 3 of 17 for 3 points. Derek Sloan will inbound, playing a key role here in these final minutes. Marlon Mason fouled out. He's got Hales, Lee, Lewis, and Grady on the floor with him. Sloan finds Trey Lewis. Finds Sloan. Now Cleveland State with numbers. Terrell Hales wide open. He'll take the easy bunny. Cleveland State a good basket there. He's got 4. Hales does. That'll stop the run momentarily. Shot clock's off here. Snyder, I think, got held by Lewis on the drive. He did. First foul on Trey Lewis today.
And that's not what you want in this situation. You don't want to let UIC score with the clock stopped. That's their biggest enemy and our biggest ally, Cleveland State's biggest ally. You don't want to foul. Let him go to the basket. Let him try to score over Anton Grady. Don't foul him 20 feet from the basket.
Gabe Snyder misses his first free throw. He's now just 1 of 3 from the line this year. Today, Snyder with 3 points and a rebound. One more for the junior from right here in Chicago. Sinks that one, splits the pair. Cleveland State able to break the pressure and a hold on Jay Harris. That'll be his third. We'll walk it down to the other end. Vikes by 7. Derek Sloan, a couple of more free throws here. The freshman from St. Ignatius with 2 points and a rebound today. It's 2 of 2 at the line. Some good experience for the freshman as well here in a game that's not decided.
Well, you know, Derek could have gone and played at a lot of schools and got money to play at a lot of schools. He could have gone to a lot of Division IIs, maybe walked out of some other Division Is. It's nice to kids stay home. Kid is a great student, a great kid.
Harris stuffed by Grady. Brown trying to get a 3 off. Oh, he got low. So he'll get 3 free throws. There are only 13.7 left, but you put Mark Brown at the line for 3 free throws. He is an excellent free throw shooter. Today he is 6 of 7 and 85% for the year, and Brown has 18 points. He gets one of these 3, he'll have a game high.
Well, and Derek's showing his inexperience right there, because with only 13 seconds on the clock and you're up 7, you don't ever foul a jump shooter, especially a 3-point jump shooter. He'll have to learn a tough lesson here. And the Vikes better do a good job getting the ball inbounds after this third free throw.
And Mark Brown makes them all, so he has a game-high 21. Gary Waters wants a timeout. That's the last one for the Vikings. They're up by 4 with 13.7 seconds left. This one a lot closer now in the second half.
They'll probably foul right away here.
Yates will inbound.
They won't want the Vikes to pass the ball around and waste time. They'll foul right away.
Trey Lewis with it, and there's the foul on Jay Harris. That's his 4th now. So he'll have to be careful as he's committed the last 3 for UIC.
And here's where your upperclassman, Trey Lewis, this is where these guys are supposed to be in this situation and knock these down.
Garfield Heights native, transfer from Penn State, redshirt junior, 2 of 4 at the line today, misses the first one.
He's not using his legs.
They've struggled of late from the line. They are just 15 of 24 today.
This is a big one here because this makes it a...
He got that one. It's a 5-point game. Keene is in for Yates. So this one's still not over.
And again, you can give up a 2 here, but don't give up a 3 and don't foul a UIC player attempting a 3.
Jay Harris.
Let him go to the hole.
Forces up a tough 3. Hails the rebound. That should do it. Kayza Keene up to Lewis. This one is over in Chicago. Cleveland State is in first place in the Horizon League, the only team with a 2-0 record. They win today by a final score of 74-69. We'll have our post-game wrapping.